I think I'd better be going.
Oh, you're getting touchy, huh? Well, if anyone has a right to be angry, it's us.
But we're willing to let bygones be bygones.
After all, we're not made of stone. If a daughter comes home and is sorry...
I'm not sorry, and I don't want your forgiveness.
Then what did you come home for?
I came here because I felt I wanted to see you. If you expect me to get down on my knees...
Now, forget it. After all, you were young, and it probably was all the fault of that...
Please, Father. I don't want to hear a single unpleasant word about the last 10 years, or I'll have to go.
Martha, you look so tired, dear.
Well, no wonder, after all.
Can't you keep still? It's all dead and buried, and let's forget it. Come on, let's go upstairs. You're going to have a nice hot bath, and then you're going to lie down and rest. Now, how's that, huh?
So he really got out of that barrel. Well, what do you think of that? Jasper, what's all that noise about?
Just had a talk with Mr. Chuck. You see, somebody say they saw a couple prowlers on the grounds. Maybe some of them horse thieves.
Well, tell Chuck to keep after them.
Yes, sir.
If necessary, shoot them.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Father, but if you don't mind, I think I'll go upstairs. I'm getting pretty tired. Good night.
Good night, Martha.
Good night, Mother.
Good night, dear. Remember, breakfast is 7:30.
Yes, Mother. Good night, Albert.
Good night, Martha. Martha. Well, Martha, I want you to have a restful night. And why not? Your troubles are actually over.
I suppose you're right.
I know I am. But you paid for your mistakes and paid dearly.
Now, Albert, I don't want anybody to get the impression that I've been the victim of 10 years of misery. Nothing of the kind. On the contrary, I can say there were moments in my marriage which few women have been lucky enough to have experienced.
There were times when you were lifted way up to the sky.
Yes, way up.
Only to be dropped way down afterward. That's not the purpose of marriage. Marriage isn't a series of thrills. Marriage is a peaceful, well-balanced adjustment of two right-thinking people.
I'm afraid that's only too true. Well, good night, Albert.
Martha, there's one other thought I want you to sleep with. My feelings for you have remained unchanged.
That's very kind of you, Albert, and I'm touched.
Naturally, I'm not the flashy type like some people. I'd say I was rather on the conservative side. If I were, for instance, a suit of clothes, you wouldn't call me a stylish cut, and I prefer it that way. But I can safely say I'm made of solid material. I'm sewed together carefully, and my lining is good, Martha. Frankly, I believe I wear well. I'm not too hot in the summer, and I give protection in the winter. Need I say more?
No, Albert. You've given a complete and accurate description of yourself. Good night.
Thank you, Martha.
Miss Martha.
Yes?
Excuse me. That horse thief we were looking for.
Did you catch him?
Yes, ma'am. He's in your room, waiting for you.
In my room? You mean?
Yes, miss. That's him.
Martha, darling, sweetheart,
How could you do a thing like this to me? Don't you realize what I went through?
Oh, Henry.
Running away like that without a word. Can't you imagine how I suffered? How could you do this to me? Oh, Martha, Martha.
Henry, it won't work anymore.
What's Albert doing here?
I met him by accident on the train. He was very nice to me and...
You expect me to believe that? Here I am looking all over the world for my wife, going insane with despair. And where do I find her? 2,000 miles away in a lonely country place with another man. I don't see how I can stand anymore.
Henry, it won't work.
Very well. If it comes to the point where a woman doubts her husband's sincerity, there's nothing more to do. Everything is over. Goodbye, Martha.
Goodbye, Henry.
Martha, I really mean this. I'm going.
I know you mean it, Henry.
All right. Just give me 5 minutes to pull myself together and you'll never see me again. Never, never.
Oh, Henry, I know your every move. I know your outraged indignation. I know the poor, weeping little boy. I know the misunderstood, strong, silent man. The wounded lion who's too proud to explain what happened in the jungle last night.
So I'm fake. I'm false. I'm cheap.
Oh, Henry, please.
I know I brought you nothing but unhappiness.
You know that's not true.
Oh, so we had some good times together.
Some wonderful times.
Oh, then what do you want? What did I do? Even a murderer has a right to defend himself. You
You
can't hang a man without
evidence.
evidence.
I know.
If I only knew what particular thing is in your mind. Have you seen that Minetta recently?
Yes, of course I've...
Oh, well, now everything is clear. This is something I didn't even want to mention to you. It's so unimportant. When she saw me, yes, I was at the plaza having tea, and at the table with me was a very handsome young woman, but believe me, there was nothing to it. I would have come to and explained to you myself.
But you didn't want to make me uncomfortable, even for 1 second.
Yeah, that's right, darling. That's exactly right.
Henry, it won't work. And besides, Aunt Minetta didn't say one word about you. And as for the very beautiful young lady at the
Darling,
plaza...
I can easily explain that.
Oh, I know you can. You're a master at that.
All right. I'm fighting a losing battle. I don't love you. I never loved you. I love everybody in New York more than you.
There you go again. It's the 25th of October. Many happy returns.
Thank you, Martha. But it's something much more important than my birthday. It's our anniversary. 10 years ago today, I was almost as much in love with you as I am right now.
It's very difficult for a woman to send her husband away on their 10th anniversary. Especially when he speaks as beautifully as you do. But I must do it.
All right, darling. I know it's all over. I'm sure you'll find someone else who will be really worthy of you. But let's pretend, just for a minute. Happy anniversary. You like it?
I'd say it cost at least $10,000. For that money, it's a very good purchase.
Martha, how can you talk like that?
If you'd only forgotten to give me this bracelet, I probably would have been foolish enough to be in your arms right now. You've no idea what a mistake you made. The magician played one trick too many. The other day, I was having a new photograph made of Jackie and me. I wanted to have it the right size to fit into your wallet. So I slipped into your room. This fell out of your wallet. And I don't ever remember having received any bracelet from you on or about May 2nd.
Oh, so that's what it's all about. And to think that you went through all this just because the jeweler made a mistake. And that's what the whole thing is, a mistake. Naturally, I didn't buy a bracelet for $500.
Has Cartier ever made a mistake in any of our bills before?
Darling, I love you. I think you're the most beautiful, adorable thing in all the world. Do you really believe there's any woman good enough to take me away from you? And if there were such a woman, do you think she'd be worth only a $500 bracelet?
Henry,
Darling, I'll make you a bet. If Cartier doesn't admit that this whole thing is a terrible mistake...
Then you won't buy there anymore.
Henry, it won't work.
Grandpa!
Martha, my darling. Well, come on. Let's get started. Let's pack.
Grandpa, what do you mean?
Well, naturally, you're going back with us to New York. Well, what are you standing there for? You're making a pretty bad job of it. Come on. Sweep her off her feet or we'll miss the next train.
If I can't make her happy, then I don't want her to come back.
Yeah, that's better.
No, I mean this seriously.
Well, that's why it's good.
Look, Martha, let's face it. You want a divorce.
I see no other way.
What about Jackie?
Naturally, I want him.
I think you're right. I think you should get away from me.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way.
But I did. I adore the boy, and therefore I think he shouldn't be with me.
Well, I don't think a child should be deprived of his father.
Do you want him to grow up to be another Henry Van Cleve? And on his 36th birthday, make his wife as unhappy